Hey everybody, my name is James, and in this video, I'm going to rank my favorite Batman comic book character statues, from least to most. But first, let me just give you a 20-second intro about my statue collection. Alright, so I have been in this statue collecting game since about 2011. I come into the statue collecting world from the comic book side. I read about 1 to 2 comics a day, and statue collecting was a way of celebrating the characters I love. I started out probably pretty much like everybody. I started out with the 1/6 Bowens, Kotobukiya, and then I progressed to 1/4. And I had a few 1/3 as well. Now, I have collected both DC and Marvel. However, the collection was growing too large, and I felt I was taking up too much room in the house and too much money from my family, so I sold all my Marvel statues. I am sure some of you out there bought a few of them from me. It is extremely nice to just be dedicated to collecting Batman statues. I no longer feel that pressure of having to buy everything that comes out, even though some new ones coming out look outstanding. Alright, now let's get started with the ranking. Alright, coming in number 19 is the Huntress. Now I like the pose. The staff across her shoulders is excellent, but it is the most forgettable statue in this collection. In person, she just doesn't look that fierce or formidable. She has this look that's a little too cute, and the portrait has a chipmunk look to it. Now when it comes to the character, starts out as Paula Brooks, yet sometimes you have Helena Wayne, Helena Bartonelli. Her whole backstory is so cluttered, and so is her continuity, that you just can't fully enjoy her. Now when it comes to the statue, again, the coloring, the purple, the costume design are all real good, but it's coming in last. Coming in number 18 is the Batman Who Laughs. Now this list is just my favorite statues. It's not necessarily the most well done statues, because it's extremely well done, all the way to the costume, to the straps, to the blood, to the chains, especially the portrait. Everything is tremendous. The character just doesn't fit in. Now, the origins issue of him by James Tynion, if you ever read it, is outstanding. His concept is amazing. He is certainly Batman's toughest rogue. And he already has great moments in other stories, but I just prefer that noir, that detective style, that Gotham City classic rogues feel that he just won't ever have. He's great overall, but when it comes to my favorite, it's at the bottom. Coming in at number 17 is Batwoman. Now, I thought I would love this statue more when I first got it, but it's just okay. There's something off with her leg position. It's like how her legs integrate with the base. It's just something is off. Now, I do prefer museum poses, and the hair and the portrait are killer, and I really love that white paint. It's a real clean look, and the double guns is the way to go for this statue. Now, when it comes to the comics, she's a solid character, competent, resilient. She's no nonsense. She has great moments in the New 52, great moments in Rebirth, from the story's Allergy to the Fall of the Batman, but this statue is closer to the bottom. Alright, coming in at number 16 is Alfred. I am extremely grateful that an Alfred statue was produced. It was a day one pre-order for me. Thank you very much, Prime 1. Now, Alfred is basically like in 97% of Batman stories and plays a critical role, obviously, in Batman lore. I wish they would do a Commissioner James Gordon statue. I wish they would do a Harvey Bullock statue. I would buy that. Now, everything on the statue is well done. The essence is captured well of Penny One. The cape, the cowl, and switch outs are all good. My only complaint is I would say the face paint seems a little too dark in my opinion. Alright, coming in number 15 is the Riddler. I do not like customs. I have owned customs. I've seen a lot of customs in person. They usually don't look right. Something is always off. Sometimes it's the paint. Other times the body proportions. But it's usually the portraits. Now this Riddler has great sculpts in the pants, creases, the hat, the jacket, but it does suffer from subpar portraits. Now the pose I like. I like the Captain Jack pose. I never get tired of it. I like the concept. He has a map or blueprint of the Batcave. He's breaking in, gonna blow it up. It does have a light up base. Now the paint job on Edward is good, but other parts is lacking, such as on the numbers here. The Rubik's Cube, it's not all that great. But again, I am thankful this was created. Now I have had this going on 5 years now, There are about 40 of these out there, and again, I am filled with gratitude for owning this piece. Alright, coming in number 14 is Two-Face. The portrait is fantastic. The pose with the coin is done real nice. The statue possesses that striking presence that Den has. Now, despite the match, which I like, the base is uninspiring. This statue is just two pieces, by the way. It's just Harvey and the base. Now, the huge problem with the statue is the scale. Don't fool yourself. It's slightly less than 1/4. His feet, the body thickness, the head, they're all undersized. I have to put this Two-Face statue on a block for him just to look right next to the others. Hey, but I don't care. I'll take it. I needed a Two-Face, and some days he's my favorite Batman rogue. Coming at number 13 is Poison Ivy. Now, talk about one of Batman's most powerful rogues. Now, I have no complaints about this statue. I like the design. I don't recall her wearing this in any comics off the top of my head, as long as it's not the new 52 COD design. Great moments during that time, great stories such as Cycle of Life and Death and Emperor Penguin, but I wasn't a fan of that design. This one I am. Now, the paint, portrait, all beautiful. Pose, like it. Base, great. Leaves, flowers, they're all wonderful. Actually, there is one complaint, and it's the exclusive. I have it, but I'll never display it. I find it hideous. Statue, the best part, it captures Ivy's seductive, persuasive, but dangerous essence just perfectly. Coming in at number 12 is Killer Croc. This statue is so much better than I expected. When I got this in hand, I was pleasantly surprised. Now, some people will say that it's undersized for Killer Croc. I disagree. I like Killer Croc when he's that regular man. He's a tragic figure. He has a skin condition which alienates him from the rest of the world, and he turns to a life of crime. But when it comes to the statue, the skin, the scales, the wrapped hands, the sewer with the water effect, and the splash, brilliant, awesome job. Now, I feel like everyone covers Croc's neckline with a chain or a rope, whatever, but it just doesn't bother me. I don't put anything on it. I don't even notice it. I do display him mostly with the regular Killer Croc portrait. I think Sideshow did an excellent job with that one. The best part of this statue, it has this unsettling, threatening presence about it that fits the character perfectly. Coming in at number 11 is Red Hood. I love the character Jason Todd so much. He's so important to the Batman story, and we don't even have a licensed quarter-scale statue yet, besides the Samurai line. Now, we got 2 Huntress statues, but no Red Hood or Nightwing. It makes little sense to me. Now, having this character in my Batman line, I am so grateful of. There's only about 15 of these Red Hoods in the world. The base is done well, but again, you can tell it's a custom. The statue has a ton of swap outs, but some of the swap outs do look better than others. The unmasked portrait is lacking, but the broken mask that you see often in comics is done incredible. It just looks outstanding at the end of my collection with that classic Red Hood pose. Coming in at number 10 is Catwoman. I really enjoy this Gotham base with the W for Wayne. I like both portraits. The whip effect is great. The outfit is done well. The statue has this unique sitting pose where Selina, you don't see it often, Selina is sitting with her legs positioned naturally, hanging off, and her arm is behind her holding her whip. It's all done so well. The claw marks on the gargoyle are done marvelously. It just radiates a Catwoman vibe. It's playful, but cunning. You know, Catwoman has grown to be such an awesome character throughout the years, and this statue represents her perfectly. Coming in at number 9 is Mr. Freeze. Now, Victor's design here is good. It's real good, and the gun is good. The colors, the ice effect, they're all fantastic. But the best part of this statue is the portrait and the glass dome helmet. It's wonderful goggles, and I would say it's maybe the best sculpt portrait in my collection. Now, for me, it is an exclusive or bust. Nora is too big of a part of Mr. Freeze's backstory not to have her. Now, collectors, we're lucky to have a quarter scale Mr. Freeze this well done. Coming in at number 8 is Harley Quinn. I am not the biggest Harley fan. She's okay. She has definitely evolved to what she was in the 90s. She has some cool comic book moments. I guess Black Label Harleen is my favorite Harley story off the top of my head. I think there's way too many Harley statues there on the market, but I love this one. The mid-swinging hammer pose is killer and is done so well. It looks like she's actually moving. It's just so fluent. The portrait is outstanding. I use the unmasked one. It's really an incredible sculpting job on this. It's perfection done simple. Coming in at number 7 is Bane. Now, I was not a huge fan of the OG Bane. Thought it was too extreme. It almost looked ridiculous. This one hits that original Chuck Dixon, Graham Nolan 90s version, the one from Vengeance of Bane and Bane of the Demon. Some of the best parts of this piece is the destroyed Batmobile, the boots, the blood on the knuckles, and then of course his anatomy. Sideshow hits the true essence of the character. This statue captures that terrifying Bane. This is exactly how he's supposed to look. Bulky but agile. Bravo, Sideshow. Coming in at number 6 is the Joker. Now, I had the pogo stick Joker before, and it had a lot of Easter eggs and was done tremendously, but it was just too goofy. I like my Joker sinister and terrifying. This Joker is disturbing, it's freaky, and it's executed brilliantly. I love the socks, to the suit, to his slender build. This represents the ideal Joker. Dangerous, insane, and unpredictable, sensational Joker, Sideshow. At number 5, it's Batgirl. I love big, elaborate bases. I don't care if the base overshadows the character because I feel it only elevates the character in a statue. You're getting 40% of a clay face here. Clayface's arm is tremendous. The clay is done so well. The mouth and the teeth are exceptional. It has a light up feature that I'll actually use. Batgirl's suit is awesome. It has an awesome design. It's pretty stylized. This Batgirl does have exaggerated curves, hips, and a butt. But the cape to the pose, the crowbar with the clay dripping off to the wraps, it's done beautiful, done incredibly. Now, I had the last Batgirl, and I never liked it. I hated the pose. If I still had it, that statue would have been last on this list. But this one has clay face, decent light up, and it has an original storytelling design. Number 4, the Penguin. Exceptional statue. A grotesque penguin statue like this can't get any better. What an unbelievable concept showing beneath the water. I feel it was a way for Sideshow to heighten the statue due to the penguin's small size, but you can even see Oswald's shoes submerged in the water. Now the penguin himself, they nailed it. The portrait, they nailed it. The top hat, the monocle, nailed it. The scars on the penguin. Some are swimming, some are standing at Oswald's side, and the scummy water effect is killer. Just a brilliant, grotesque penguin statue. Coming in at number 3 is Robin. I love the Robins. Dick, Jason, Tim, Damian. I'm not counting Stephanie Brown or Lance Bruner or even Duke Thomas. I'm talking about the 4 main Robins. They have such key moments. They have wonderful storylines. They have different personalities, different strengths, different weaknesses. All 4 are so distinctive but likable. I have 2 Robins in one statue here. You can go with Tim or you can go with Damian. With the outstanding pose, the barrel looks so good, the staff for Tim and the sword for Damian. The bullet shots look excellent. This statue is remarkable. It's exactly what I want in a Robin statue. And if you don't like the statue, you just don't like the character of Robin. And maybe you should just read more Batman stories to find out how critical or how great this character can be. Coming in at number 2 is Batman. I remember the first day reveal, and nobody was too excited about this statue. It had the hunchback, the leather chaps, but this statue is the most surprised I ever been about a statue. It's 100 times better than I predicted. I feel this statue looks awful in pictures, but in person, I don't see the chaps or the hunchback. One thing I do feel the boots are a little too much. They're chunky, maybe oversized, but I do enjoy the bulky Batman, the older Batman with the battle-scarred face. I like the armor, but for me, it's exclusive or bust. The Batarangs, or whatever they are, I read thousands of Batman issues and I don't recall ever seeing these things, but I love them. They add a lot of presence. Now, one of the best parts of this statue is the base, because I love comic book Easter eggs and statues. If you look at the grave, it says Mad Dog. Mad Dog was a patient Amadeus Arkham, but eventually was free and killed Amadeus's family on April 1st. That's why it says 4-1 on the grave. His wife Constance and his daughter were both killed. But bottom line about this statue, it commands attention even more than awesome statues like the Penguin, Batgirl, and Bane. Coming in at the top spot, number 1 is Scarecrow. There is one tiny flaw about this statue, in that it must be displayed high on a shelf for it to really be appreciated. Other than that, this thing is flawless. The seams, the stitches, the noose, the shoes, the rips, the mask, the face under the mask, it's all incredibly perfect. I just can't believe it sometimes. The creepy, slender build of Crane is sensational. It tells an amazing story. Batman got exposed to fear toxin and sees Jason's corpse reanimated. The fear toxin purple effect is executed perfectly. I can't imagine a better quarter-scale Scarecrow statue. I can't even believe sometimes this thing was even done so perfectly, and that is why it's coming in at number 1. Hey, I want to thank everybody for checking out this video and staying to the end. Right now I'm going to leave you with some shots of the room, both statues and some artwork of Batman and some of his greatest moments.